This is Earl Amin with the 2020 Foresight Podcast, where CEOs of small to global companies share their insights. It is 6 questions in 9 minutes because top CEOs know how to listen and be concise. So let's get to it. Question number one. In just a few sentences, tell us who you are and what you do.
So my name is Richard Thompson. I am the CEO of Open Arms Pain Clinic, and I'm also a United States Army Reserve Financial Officer. As CEO of my clinic, we provide medical care for underserved population here in Colorado Springs through pain management care and community outreach. My background has been medical for my entire military career as well as civilian career. I do have an undergraduate's as well as a master's in business administration with emphasis in human resource management. And that's who I am.
Outstanding. Welcome. Question number two. What's the best thing about being the CEO?
The best thing about being a CEO is you get to steer the ship. You get to make the decisions, whether if you're going to expand, if you're going to stay the same, if you're going to hire personnel, and which personnel you get to hire. You really get to get in there and hire the people that are going to make your business the most successful, and you really get to know them. Each one of my employees I've hired has been handpicked from previous positions I've held as either Chief Operations Officer, VP of Operations, or a manager at a different clinic. All my employees have been with me for at least 3 to 4 years, and I like to be able to see them grow, both professionally and well as their personal life. The best thing about being a CEO is the time I get to spend with my family as well, and the time I afford my employees to be able to take time off of work to spend with their families without the typical hassle you get from bigger corporations.
Wow, very well said. Question number three. I hear from other CEOs that leading their own team and being able to see the road ahead, a challenge. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are you should always be looking ahead, not just for the next month or the next quarter, but for the next year and the next 5 years out. You should always have a standardized business plan that you can use as a roadmap to get from where you're going to where you want to go. For instance, when I started this company 2 years ago, I planned out everything from how much capital I need to get to how many employees I needed. From there, I was able to staff everybody appropriately and be able to expand. The challenges are coming ahead, especially with COVID and being in the medical field, is just making sure you secure enough PPE to protect all your patients as well as your employees. And then just really looking forward to making sure you have the financial resources to stay afloat. I understand a lot of small businesses such as myself, and especially restaurants, are struggling. We are very fortunate that we are not struggling right now. One of the foresights I did when I first started this business is create a large size savings plan. That way, when we did hit hard times earlier this year and earlier last year, we were able to use that savings to keep ourselves afloat until revenue picked up again. As a CEO and other CEOs out there, it's always imperative to make sure you're looking at the bottom line, because if you're in the red, you're probably not going to stay in business that much longer.
Well, that brings us to question number four, which I think you've poured into somewhat. What piece of insight do you want to share with other CEOs?
Just always pay attention to your market conditions. Know who your main competitors are and what their strengths and weaknesses are, and especially know your own strengths and weaknesses. That way, at any given time, you can play for your strengths and then minimize your weaknesses. That way, when things do come about, you can capture more market share as the rest of the market is going crazy. That way, if you stay afloat, you might be able to acquire a competitor and then double your market share without even that much work, because you were in the financial position to do so, and they didn't have the foresight to do the same thing. So they're out of business, and now you acquired more customers, and you're better off.
Well said. Question number five. What other successful CEOs, like yourself, would you like to acknowledge and should be on my podcast?
I would like to recognize Deb Chandler. She was the CEO when I was a manager over at Colorado Springs Health Partners. She really sewed into me and gave me a lot of knowledge and insight of how to actually carry myself as a manager and a CEO eventually. She's the one that really encouraged me to get back into school, get my MBA, and just learn everything I could. She's also the one that really sat down with me and taught me how to treat people. She gave me not only the opportunities to succeed, but she also gave me the opportunities to fail, which I think a lot of people are failure adverse, but those failures have what led me to my success today. Without those, I definitely wouldn't be sitting in this chair, and I definitely would like to give her a big thank you for all the stuff she's done for me in the past.
Well said. And now question number 6, the final question. How do you celebrate a win?
For me personally, how I like to celebrate a win, I like to eat. My employees like to also eat. So a lot of times what we'll do is we'll all go out to eat together, and then I'll give them a share of the pie. I'll give them a bonus or something, or do just something nice for them. A simple gift card or a simple meal goes a long way with employees, especially when they know that you actually care about them and just spending time with them. How I celebrate a win with the family is we go out to eat, or we take a nice little mini vacation just to recharge the battery, so we come back and we're even better than before.
Sure. Well said yet again. Richard, it's been a pleasure having you on. Tell me, how can people find you?
You can go to openarmspainclinic.com. That's one of the easiest ways to find us. From there, you can find our phone numbers, faxes, anything you need, and some information about pain management care. We're also now on Facebook. You can go on there, same thing, Open Arms Pain Clinic. You can see some of our staff members. You can see myself and my 2 providers right now. And we're always answering questions on there and just trying to do community engagement.
Excellent. This is Earl Amin with the 2024 Psych Podcast. For more insights, go to LinkedIn and search for the Gray Owl Company. Richard, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me, Earl.